down on enemy comms. Prep charges and move out.
What is up, YouTube? Evengary here, and I wanted to give you a channel update. If you've been here before, you may be wondering, who the hell is Evengary? Didn't this channel used to be called Reckless? And why, after 8 years of no posts, am I starting to post again? So if you're confused about the name, the channel, or why things look different, this video is for you. This isn't necessarily my channel trailer, but I'll probably set it as such during the transition, at least until I make a new legit one. First of all, if you haven't seen it, I did make a video the other day covering some of this. I'll go ahead and link that video in the description, but I wanted to condense it here because if you've seen that video, or if you know me at all, it was 30 minutes long and all over the place, and also it didn't even cover everything. I figured I'd at least give this one an outline that I could stick to, so let's start with some backstory. First of all, why did I quit posting? I mean, there's not really a story. I quit posting in 2018 because I really started focusing on my career, so my time for gaming kept dwindling. I had also found myself in a rut of basically only posting CSGO matchmaking videos because they were easy to edit. And by that I mean I hardly edited them at all. They were long and not many people were interested in them, and honestly the reviews reflected as much. Eventually I just quit. It wasn't really a conscious decision. It was literally one of those times where you don't realize it's the last time you're gonna do something. So what changed? Well, the biggest thing is that recently I lost my job. I've spent the last 7 years, I mean really the last 13, building my career. It's had its ups and downs, but the thing that I've always wanted was to find a cool place to work for that appreciated what I brought to the table. I found it a few times, but nothing has worked out long term. Well, at the beginning of this year, I had actually found a place that I was super into. And at least according to my review, they were really happy with what I was doing. Then, like a week after my review, I was let go with zero warning. Long story short, the board decided to go a different direction. That was a huge bummer, and I'm still recovering from that 2 months later. On top of that, all of last year and half the year before it, I was in a pretty serious relationship. That also unfortunately ended abruptly last Christmas Eve. So basically it's just been a really rough year for me. Honestly, some of it's been good because it's got me asking myself what I truly want out of life going forward. One thing that's been missing has been gaming. And it's a big deal for me because, I've posted videos about this before, but gaming has been a big part of my life since I was a kid. On top of that, I haven't had a form of creative expression in a while, and it's something that, when it's missing from my life, it can make my life feel pretty pointless. Sometimes my job can fulfill that, but lately it hasn't been, and that was even before I lost my job. Anyway, making YouTube content used to be that outlet for me, so here I am in a time and place where more gaming and making content makes sense for me. Just to be clear, and I feel like I say this every video, but I'm not intending for YouTube to become like an income source. I've stated many times that I want to keep YouTube as a hobby, and honestly, once the new year hits, I'm going to be having to look for a new job again. I'm just giving myself what I feel is a well-deserved break right now. So what does that mean? I honestly don't know. I just know that I want to start making content again, and to what degree, I guess we'll see. But with that, let's talk about YouTube. So why is my channel name changing? I came up with the name Reckless back in, I think, Modern Warfare 3, or maybe it was Black Ops 2, I don't remember. But my name before that was Winter Solstice, but I made that name in 2009, so it had a bunch of numbers for letters, and yes, the two words were separated by an X. So I wanted to change that for obvious reasons. I played a lot with my brother even back then, and he had the same problem. Since we're brothers and we played a lot together, we wanted to have similar names. So I became Reckless and he became Restless, spelled very similarly with very few letters changed. Capitalization and silent superfluous letters, again, were common for the time. Anyway, I made my channel about a year after that, and I used the name that I was already using. But why am I changing it? Basically 2 reasons. First, I just feel like the name doesn't fit me anymore. When I made it, I wanted something that sounded cool and somewhat intimidating in Call of Duty lobbies. But I've always just been kind of a goofy, weird-ass dude, and I feel like the name Evengary fits me better. I'll explain what the name means in just a second. But the other reason I want to change it is that since I've quit posting, someone else has created a channel that is named extremely similar to mine. It's so close that it almost feels on purpose, but I don't think that it was. It's not even gaming content, but regardless, it completely destroys my search engine optimization. So that was kind of like the final nail in the coffin for the name Reckless, especially spelling it the way I did. So why Evengary? So my name is Evan. People misspell it with a second E in the middle instead of an A, so much. Like, they'll write it on something without sounding it out and realizing that they're actually spelling the word even, not Evan. So that's where the even comes from. And Gary is a family name, I guess you could say. And it also is very similar to how you spell my last name, so it just kind of makes sense for that word. And then the reason I adopted that as a name though, one day I was at work a long time ago and I got a ticket that was talking about a printer issue. And it had a line in it that said, "The issue appears to be widespread. Even Gary is experiencing it." And for a second, I thought that they were talking about me and had misspelled both my first and my last name. Obviously, I realized what it really meant, and they were saying, there's a guy named Gary, and they're saying, even Gary's experiencing it. Obviously, I realized what they meant, but a few coworkers thought it was really funny and started calling me Even Gary, and since then, I kind of adopted it as a nickname. And I feel like that story behind the name reflects the kind of content that I create. Some people keep their personal lives very, very private, and as much as I think that that's probably the smarter way of doing things, that's just not how I am. I'm a very open person. More on that in a bit. But anyway, that's why I'm renaming the channel. And the timing works out because, I haven't posted in years with the exception of the video I posted recently. It's almost like a fresh start, except for the 450 plus videos that already exist on this channel. So that's gonna suck. I'm gonna have a library of videos that say the wrong name, but that's why I'm making this video. So what's staying the same? If you've watched my content before and you like my personality, then obviously you'll be right at home. I've always been myself on here, and that's not going to change. I would like to think that the quality of my videos will improve. With the extra time that I have, I've been learning more about video editing and also paying more attention to the kinds of videos that I really enjoy watching and why. And I think that's going to help me up the quality of this channel. I think I also have some pretty good videos that I've made in the past, and I aspire to keep making videos of that quality. I'll link a few videos of mine that I'm most proud of, and if you're new here, that should give you an indication of what you can probably expect. In terms of actual content, I'm pretty much going to do what I feel inspired to do. My last video, which again I recommend checking out, it was fun to make. It was just me playing Black Ops 3 Zombies and ranting about stuff, and I can definitely see myself doing more of those. Counter-Strike will probably make a return, although I'll probably edit them so that they're shorter. I mean, they did reduce the rounds from 15 each side to 12, but they're still pretty long, so they'll probably be a little more edited, and it'll keep it a little more interesting, I think. This channel started as a Call of Duty channel, and even though I don't really play it anymore, I still kind of follow everything that's been going on. Lately, there's been a lot of drama in the Call of Duty community, and I think that that would be kind of fun to cover. It is kind of weird, though, because if I want to do commentaries about Call of Duty, I don't have, modern footage of it. I could do what I did last time and go record it over an old game, like Black Ops 3, or go back even further. I also do have, a bunch of old footage of, the older games, but the problem is it's only in 30 frames per second, and I don't think that that's worth posting. Quality matters a lot these days on YouTube. I think they're having a free weekend this weekend, though, and it's supposed to last a week, so maybe I'll just download it and get some footage. Anyway, all of that remains to be seen. Again, like I talked about in the last video, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield, as you can see by the gameplay. I think the next video that I'm going to put out will probably be a World War Z campaign that I played with my brother and his wife. We played through an entire episode, which is 3 levels, and they're pretty funny. I watched them back, they're pretty funny. I'm probably going to edit those up and post those next. So, stuff like that. Again, I mentioned this in my last video, but I have a lot of funny and crazy stories from my early 20s that I think would make really good story times, so I think that that could be fun. And lastly, consider what I'm going through. Mental health is on my mind a lot. I've had some fleeting ideas about talking about some serious stuff like, mental health, the state of the world, stuff like that. Not sure what that would look like yet, or even if I will, but it's a thought. But yeah, lots of ideas. I'm also super open to feedback, so if you have any preferences, let me know. Let's talk about the channel art. I don't want to spend too much time here because this video will probably be pinned for a while, and I'm hoping to have this specific issue resolved soon, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet for channel art, or even what style I'm going to use. I did just rebrand with all the new Reckless stuff, but I don't think I'm going to keep that same art style going forward. So for a bit, you may notice the branding changing, or even using old branding like in my profile picture, channel banner, end card, etc. So if that gets confusing at any point, I apologize. Patience is appreciated. I want to find a style fitting of my personality and of the new name. That being said, if anyone has any suggestions on a direction, let me know. As for how much content you can expect me to post, I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue. I'd love to say that videos can be expected regularly, but I just don't know what my future looks like. I'll need to get a new job soon, and that always affects things. And in the meantime, like I said, I'm a bit depressed at the moment. I'd be lying if I said that that didn't affect my executive functioning at the moment. So I have lots of ideas. It's been hard to actually produce them, but I'm working on that. All I know is that I want to up the quality of my videos, and if that takes some extra time, then it is what it is. If you want to support and encourage, you can always help by subscribing and leaving feedback on my videos. It's free, and it honestly means the world to someone like me. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Like I said, I just wanted to give an update to anyone who's stuck around. If you're still here from the old days, I appreciate you, and thank you for the continued support. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is kind of what you can expect. Again, feedback is welcome on all the things we talked about. Content, art direction, whatever. I hope you all did enjoy the video. Don't forget to leave me a comment. A like is always appreciated, but if not, as always, that's cool. And this has been evengary, guys. That feels weird to say. Take it easy or don't take it at all. Peace.